Don't make these 10 rookie mistakes when visiting New Zealand. Hi, I'm Tara. I moved my family of 6 from the US to New Zealand back in 2013, and I help people move to New Zealand. But now I've been helping people travel to New Zealand. That's what this video is about. And I'm so excited to share with you guys my travel guide. It's like not like other travel guides out there that are like, here's the itinerary, this is what you should do. Basically, I come from the framework of this is your one and only chance to go and see New Zealand because most people can only take one trip. So what is the must-sees? What should you not miss? And so what this guide goes through is it gives you those, but it also talks through some hidden gems, things that only locals, so you can like travel like a local. I have a Lord of the Rings guide included, a food guide. It's really great. It's not expensive. If you want to check that out, go for it. But today I want to talk about the rookie mistakes that many people make when they're coming to New Zealand, because basically they think, oh, it's English speaking and it's not that different. Okay, agreed. But there is a lot of things that you should know just so that your travel experience goes smoothly. So here we go. Okay, mistake number 1. Even though it's a small country and it looks small on a map, it takes you longer to drive than you think. So plan for about 30% extra time when you are traveling. And here's why. There are not straight roads. Okay, New Zealand is mountainous everywhere. And it's very windy and it's slow. Okay, and just to be for real, like New Zealanders do not drive fast. And you shouldn't be. You should be relaxed, on vacation, taking in the sights. Like everywhere is so stunning. And just don't plan on getting there too quickly. Like one time, here's a true story. One time we were going from Wellington to Auckland, which is like a 7-hour drive. And people were like, you can't do that in a day. You gotta take a break. Now, we're Americans and we, have traveled far distances. My husband can drive like 24 hours straight. So we did it and we can do it. But I mean, people just looked at us like we were crazy that we were gonna do it, because you need to take a break. You will literally see billboards up that say, take a break, grab a coffee. Like they're not advertising things to sell. They're literally just trying to help you to take a break because it is windy. You don't wanna make mistakes. Guys, you're driving on the left side of the road. If you're not used to that, that's an adjustment, okay? So take your time, plan for about 30% more time than you're probably thinking in your head. Okay, mistake number 2. You are going to just get there and you'll figure it out when you get there. You need to plan ahead. You need to book ahead, especially if you're going over peak season in New Zealand, which is going to be like December through March, okay? So, okay, and things book up like, even when I lived in New Zealand, I had to book in advance. So like I remember when we finished our summer holidays, everybody's booking their next summer holiday. So don't delay, book things. I always like a little spontaneity on my vacations. And so I always have like a night or two that I'm like, we'll see how we feel. And, and you could do that. If you were in the busy season, I wouldn't do that. If you were not in the busy season, okay, maybe that would be fine. But it's not like America where there's chains, where there's tons. This isn't a big place, okay? So you are going to pay really high prices if you wait. So for example, I remember booking a beach house on a holiday. It was 6 months ahead of time till Christmas, and that's when summer break is in New Zealand. And I think the price went from $1,000 to $5,000. It was like, I'm not even going to consider this. I'm literally just staying home now. Okay. It was too expensive because once it sells out, the prices go up. So book in advance, especially if you're going to do great walks. Great walks, you got to do certain ones. You probably should do a year or more in advance. So definitely be thinking about that, and just grab a spot. If you want to change it and something becomes available, that might be flexible, but like book ahead of time. Okay, the third mistake that many people make is they forget about New Zealand's biosecurity. When you are coming internationally, you will be going through biosecurity, and it's a great thing that New Zealand has. It is what has maintained their ecosystem. So it is a great thing, but bear in mind, this is what you need to do. Make sure that you have no mud on the bottom of your shoes. So we are just in the habit as every time we go to New Zealand, we're just cleaning the bottom of our shoes, okay? Don't bring any like fruit, anything that's unpackaged, and just declare everything. There's certain things that just go on the website and look at what you can't bring. if you're wondering about that. Like essential oils, I think I've had a hand in. Just declare everything and just be okay with them taking it, okay? Because they're trying to maintain a whole ecosystem. And so just be aware of that there is biosecurity, and just make sure that just be honest about everything, and they will work with you. And they're really, really great. Like, you don't need to be stressed about it. This is New Zealand. Nobody wants you to stress. Their motto is no worries, we got it. And when you look stressed, they don't like it. They want to help you. So don't worry about it. Just be aware of the biosecurity. Probably go on the website, just check, just read through it, and then you know what you're bringing. And I've been through it, and I've said, oh, hey, can I bring this? And, maybe it would have been on the list, but depending on the situation, they might be okay with it. So just be honest, put it on the list, and you should be good. Okay, the number 4 mistake, especially if you're American, that you're ordering coffee like you're at Starbucks. Okay, do not, please. Okay, you can have specifics that you want in your coffee, but don't go up there and I would like, a grande latte with, half this, half that, and they're going to look at you like, okay. So like, they're willing to be specific, but like not that crazy. I mean, I've heard some people's, Starbucks orders that are like literally a paragraph long. Okay. So don't do that. The main drink in New Zealand is not the latte. It's a flat white. Try it. It's amazing. It's basically a latte with less milk. It's really good. I get really frustrated in the US when certain cafes don't have that. Many do. Starbucks does. So if you want to test it out, see if you like it, it will be better in New Zealand. Trust me on that one. But just realize that the coffee culture is a little bit different. So just try different things. Okay. Try the long black, try the short black. And if you're not sure what that is, just go ahead and ask them. They are happy to share that with you. If you want a little cream in it, if you want a little whipped cream, and just so you know, they only use real cream. There's no like Cool Whip in New Zealand. And they don't have creamer. Okay. So New Zealand doesn't have creamer. They don't know what you're saying. They'll use real cream or they'll use milk. So anyway, coffee culture, just try new things and try the flat white. Okay. Mistake number 5. You need to be prepared for weather changes. Sometimes, depending on where you are in New Zealand, the weather can change into 4 different seasons in one day. Okay. So here is my advice. Be aware, number 1, of the UV in New Zealand is very, very strong. Like, it feels like it's burning your skin. Whenever like my New Zealand friends come to the US, they don't even think about wearing sunscreen because it doesn't feel so like it's penetrating through your skin. Okay. So New Zealanders are trained really well. Like, even as their kids are growing up, everybody's wearing a hat, long sleeve swim shirts, just being aware of the UV. Just all you need to know is pack sunscreen. Always have a high SPF sunscreen and you will be fine. That's literally all you need. I'm not trying to stress you out. It's just be aware of the UV is different. Okay. And my best piece of advice that I think you should bring is a rain jacket. Okay. An actual rain jacket, not like one of those cheap versions of it, a real rain jacket that you would get at REI or something like that. Okay. So make sure you come with a rain jacket, versatile shoes. You're going to cross all different types of terrain. And yeah, so just be aware of that. Like Wellington is really windy. Some parts are going to be hot, but also be prepared to be warm, because depending on where you're staying in your Airbnb, they don't heat houses the same. So they'll heat a room, they won't heat a whole house. And so you could literally be in your bedroom freezing, okay? Even in summer, okay? Depending on where you are in New Zealand. So pack warm, pack good shoes, pack, a raincoat, okay? And bring your sunscreen and probably a sun hat as well, okay? So just be aware that what you need to bring may be different. If you're in my travel guide, I actually have a recommended whole list of stuff that you should bring and some links of products that I like if you want to check that out, but you don't need to do that. This is what you need. Okay, mistake number 6, travel insurance. Skipping travel insurance. Now, I have a couple things to say about that. Because of New Zealand's healthcare system, if you are visiting and you have an illness, you can go to the doctor for like $50. So you don't need to be stressed about the medical side, but definitely get travel insurance to cover your flights, your hotels. COVID happened, guys, so we've all learned something like travel insurance, right? Just for your traveling situations. A lot of people come to New Zealand to do the adventure sports, so it may come in handy for you to have some insurance just in case something catastrophic were to happen. So don't skip on the travel insurance. Okay, number 7, underestimating costs. Okay, so let's talk about you traveling around and paying for things. You just need your debit card. They generally you don't need cash everywhere. That's a question I get all the time. Maybe in some really small rural areas you'll need cash, but I have rarely used it. And they'll ask you, do you want to pay FPOS, which just means debit card? So have a credit card and a debit card and you'll be fine. You can take money out of the cash machine and just get a card that doesn't charge a lot for that, or use the Wise card. I always recommend my clients to use the Wise card because you can load it up and you can pull out any currency you want. The benefit for you though is that if you are American or European, you will benefit from the exchange rate, will be in your favor. So that's good because things are expensive, especially traveling in New Zealand, okay? The petrol is way more than you're used to paying, okay? The rentals will be more, everything will be more. It's not a cheap place, it's an island and they charge for it and they need to. So it's just an expensive place. Food is expensive. I wouldn't say that it's more expensive. I think that if you're doing the exchange rate, you'll be totally fine. But so I think that kind of covers you. The fact that the exchange rate is in your favor will cover you for most of it. So just be aware of that. Also, don't forget that there's no tipping expected. So that's a big one. So if you're looking at something that seems like really expensive, like I'm getting eggs and some toast for $17, there's no tipping. And let me tell you, please go to New Zealand and have the brunch, have breakfast. Everything is always beautiful. I feel like no matter what cafe I went to, the breakfasts were so beautiful and displayed and nothing like the US. They wouldn't even know what is this that I'm eating. Okay, so definitely go for breakfast. That's what I recommend. Mistake number 8, trying to see both islands in a 1-week holiday. It's hard, guys. I'm telling you, please, please, please. I know that the value system in at least American culture is, you can maybe get 1 week off, maybe 2 if you're lucky. Guys, really shoot for at least 3. Okay, try to get 3 weeks off if you're going for your one-time trip to New Zealand, because there is a lot to see, okay? It's not that you can't, but it's gonna be, you're gonna be, So I would just fly. If you are wanting to do island hop on a short time frame, you're gonna wanna fly, okay? And I could go through all the things that I recommend, and it's all in my travel guide, or you can at least see my top 10 spots for free. So check that out, guys. It's really great. And so then you kind of know what makes sense and what I think you should skip. I've done some videos on what you could skip in New Zealand, if you have a once in a lifetime trip, and because there's some things that can kind of overlap, and then you don't have to go to a totally another city to see this, and really kind of fine tuning what's important to you. Okay, so yeah, it's really hard to get between the islands. Don't try to take the ferry. I would just fly if you're a short amount of time, but the ferry is amazing that you take from Wellington to Picton, and I highly recommend that. I highly recommend seeing one of the sounds in Queenstown, so Milford Sound or Doubtful Sound or one of those. I've done all of them. I have pictures, guys. It's like something you've never seen before. So if you are trying to squeeze it in a short amount of time, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you because I want you to have a great trip. Mistake number 9, ignoring local culture and Maori customs. You're going to see it. People are going to talk a lot of te reo in front of you. Kia ora, whānau, they're going to say a lot of things. You're going to be like, what are you saying? And it's going to be hard to pronounce some of the cities and towns that you're going into, but learn the culture. Take the time to do that. It's really great. In my travel guide, I have a list of all the Maoris and how to contact them. If you want to have an experience with a real Maori, you can go to the places, that are more touristy spots, but I think having a real experience or having a chat with a local is always good. You're just going to learn a lot and you're going to love it. And they love to chat with you. Please just say, oh my gosh, I'm just here. This is my first time. I'm interested to know the area, and they would love to share everything about it. So maybe read up on the culture a little bit, learn the etiquette, don't sit on tables. And when you visit certain spots, it's it's sacred land for the Maori, and so there's certain things that you should and shouldn't do, and so just be aware of all that. And I can help you with all of that as well. So be aware of local culture. It seems obvious, but you don't want to do certain things. And number 10, please, please, please don't miss the local sites. So that's what I really try to trickle through my travel guide, is a lot of the local things and tours that you wouldn't necessarily hear of, and or like spots that kind of only the locals will tell you. You know, go to a local pub, go to a rugby match, go to like a high school, any event, you know, just check out the local culture and you'll experience New Zealand in a new way. Like, I definitely encourage you to do that. And anybody in a cafe or your Airbnb host would be happy to help you. And they'll list out all of the kind of local hikes that they like. Don't miss that. There's a lot of really, really great experiences that don't have large crowds that are really worth it. Or if you're going to a more touristy spot, knowing what the locals do is really helpful. So a lot of that's in my guide, but you can also just ask them when you get there. So go local. New Zealand is magic. You are going to love your experience there, your time there, your travel there. I would love to hear about it. So comment below if you've been there and just talk about like your experience. I would love to know, because I've only had my experience and I'm sure you're going to have a great trip. Share photos. A lot of my clients will share photos. I just love it, love it, love it. So, and any other tips that you have, obviously I'm trying not to make things too long. So I gave 10, but there's probably a lot more. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate, comment below. I'll see you next week.